Good morning. Welcome to Convertible Conversations. Boy, it's a nice morning here in Kansas in August. It's cool, it's cloudy, probably going to rain pretty soon, and it's nice to be outside. Wish you were here with me. I've been thinking about something I wanted to talk to you about today, and it has to do with proving that you're right. I'm talking to myself as much as to anybody else. In all the political vitriol that we see on the news every night, it seems like somebody gets attacked and then they have to go on the offensive or defensive, however you want to look at it, to prove that no, the other person is wrong and I'm right. And I'm coming to realize that most of the time that's a waste of our time and effort. Instead, we should be focusing on what's good and what actually is right. I want to tell you what I mean by that. One time, I had a good friend who broke up our friendship, and we were estranged over something that person thought that I had done to hurt them. And I knew that I hadn't done that, but I couldn't prove it. And then about a year and a half later, through a situation, I was able to actually prove that what that person thought I'd done, I didn't do. But I just sort of had a check in my spirit. Should I do this or not? So I went to a real trusted friend, a wise friend whose counsel that I really valued, and I told him the situation, and I said, I think I'm going to go get together with this person, show them that they were wrong and I'm right. And he said, okay, and then what? I said, what do you mean? And he said, and then what? And I said, well, and then I'll know I'm right and they're wrong and I'll be able to prove it. And he said, well, what good will that do? And as I actually thought about it, the only good it would do would make me think I'm right and I proved that I'm wrong. Now, this may sound strange to you, but that really wouldn't do any good at all. There have been so many times in my life that I have just been absolutely sure that I was right about something, and when somebody would question that, I'd even get angry and have to defend it. In particular, that was true of me in relationship to what I felt about God. For a long time in my life, I was absolutely sure that I was right about the fact that God had, before creation, created an eternal torture chamber called hell, where he would eventually torture about 90% of the people whom he ever created in hell forever, in a horrific place, simply because, like in the case of a little old lady, maybe she had in all her life only told one little white lie, but she'd never heard about Jesus. She never asked him to forgive that little sin. And so, as a result of that, God, who was angry and vindictive and punitive and had to be appeased, was bound by his own nature to send her to hell and torture her forever. I was confident that I was right about that, because that's what I'd been told by religious people all my life. And I would defend that. And then, one day, I found out I was totally wrong. Totally wrong. God's not like that at all. God is good. God is love. He never created any place like hell to begin with. He's not punitive. He doesn't have to be appeased. He's actually already forgiven all of us of any and all sins that we might ever commit. He is only love, and he only wants to be with us and love us and have us enjoy that love with him forever. Now, I'm confident of that, but I tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not holding on to that so tightly that I get angry and have to prove that I'm right about that with people. Because what I'm actually finding out every day is that God is actually better than what I thought he was the day before. And the next day I found out he's even better than that. He's more accepting and more inclusive and more all-loving and more forgiving and better to us, and his grace is more magnificent than I even could imagine yesterday. So I'm holding on to things loosely, not having to prove that I'm right, and just enjoying God, enjoying life, enjoying people, loving and encouraging people. Hope this makes sense to you today. Thanks a lot for listening. See you next time.